beakers up about 4 feet in the air, so you have any splashback. And actually took 2 rain samples, one in July and the other one back in December. And what happened is I didn't really want to know. I'd read all the stuff about the chemtrails, and I knew they would spray us because I'd seen them spray us with malathion. Back in the 90s, we had a problem with what's called the Mediterranean fruit fly here in Central Florida, and they decided in their incredible stupidity they would spray us with a neurotoxin called malathion. I mean, they sprayed the houses, the cars, the homes, the everything. Everybody got sprayed with malathion. So I knew that these idiots would do something like this. And so I tested the water, and then I took the sample, and I put it in the refrigerator, and I sealed it. And I thought, do I really want to know this? Well, 6 months later, they were spraying us really heavy again. It was over Christmas, and I took the water samples again. And finally, I sent them to a laboratory out of California, and I put them down as rainwater samples, and both of them came back so high in barium and aluminum, they were considered toxic by the EPA. I have those rainwater samples tests posted on my website. And so at that point in time, I began to realize, George, that somehow these compounds, these elements are being put into the atmosphere. But they tie together, though, remember, with HAARP, they tie together with the military-industrial complex. We can start talking about that in detail if you'd like. They also tie together with scalar wave application, and they also tie together with the artificial intelligence to try to connect us all together with by ionizing the atmosphere with so much electromagnetic radiation and plasma. So there's a lot of really interesting things we can talk about tonight concerning all of those topics, and each of those is a lecture on its own that I've written and actually have in my notes here that I can go through.
They're 20 shows all by themselves, Ted.
Well, it's so funny. Your producer asked me to send you 30 questions, and I started laughing because, I literally have 100 articles in multiple journals laying out in front of me for an hour-and-a-half show, and I thought, this is going to be fun trying to get all this done in one night. So, but it all ties back together with Morgellons. It ties together with the artificial computer. It ties back together with Satanism. I know that's hard for people to believe.
That's a weird
black magic.
All right. Now, the barium and aluminum that's been discovered, is there any way that would be in the atmosphere naturally?
If you had a hydroelectric power plants, not hydroelectric, but coal-fired power plants, like in China, if the coal was contaminated with these types of metals, it could be in the thing, but usually that's sulfur dioxide that's being caused, and that causes the acid rain. I've never heard of coal being contaminated in these types of concentrations with it. So I don't believe in any way that could be in the atmosphere naturally, George. And plus, on top of that, this Alzheimer's has gone through the roof in the United States now. We've got so many people suffering with senile dementia, and so many problems with so many people suffering with so many different types of diseases.
Yeah.
I mean, look at this mess of adult onset diabetes. I mean, look at that high blood pressure. Look at the depression. Look at the cancer rates. I mean, all these things are through the roof. I mean, right now we've got people that are in their 40s and 50s coming down with Alzheimer's disease. And when you inhale this aluminum powder, these microcrystals, we can talk about that in depth if you'd like, this aluminum compound into your body, into your brain, it goes directly into the bloodstream. Somebody goes right through the olfaction directly into the brain. And so it's a really quick way to give yourself Alzheimer's disease. So there are some things you can do, and also we're being sprayed with biologicals, which I believe are creating the Morgellons compound that we have in our body, this cross-domain species of fungus, plant, and insect is what it is. It's a cross-domain species when you finally analyze it, and we can go into detail on how that's formed. So there's so much stuff. Wherever you want to go with this, we can go tonight.
The spraying is being done for what purposes? To dumb us down, to manipulate the weather? What are they trying to do?
Well, what happens is this. The